Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm finding out how many knights I need to beat Martin. So far I've defeated Martin with 1 queen, 2 rooks, 2 bishops, and the logical progression is now knights. I'll start with 2 knights and add 1 knight each game. Let's get started. My general strategy for these has been basically to hope for blunders, and that's really the best that I can do. So I'll play knight to f3 in this position, for example, targeting this free pawn. I think it's worth noting, before we get too far into this challenge, that theoretically, if Martin only had a king left and he lost all of his other pieces, 2 knights and a king versus a king is a theoretical draw. What does that mean? It's that if Black plays, or Martin in this case, plays the absolute best moves, I can't checkmate him. But it's Martin, so it's still possible to create checkmate. Let's go ahead and play. I would play knight to b1 here to hit the free bishop, but I'm concerned about something like queen to e7. Defends the bishop, pins the knight to the king. So I'll play knight back first. Okay, a5, now I'll hit the bishop. We don't get the bishop, and we get checked. And even worse, my knight is now trapped on b1, basically. Okay, I'll move my king out of the way first. We'll play knight to d2. Okay, we don't get a trade, so we're back on track, basically. Knight back towards the center. General idea is kind of just to wait for a blunder. And I'll go ahead and play knight to e3. Keep my knights in the center. Okay, bishop g4. He's actually playing super solid. I mean, I'm sure they're not the best moves, but he's developing his pieces. Check. The bishop is supported by the knight. All right, I'll move my king towards the center. Towards the center, walks into knight. Check. I'll just move my king towards the side then. Okay, h6. I can't even double down on this bishop, for example, because trading and winning a piece does nothing for me if I'm just left with a knight anyways. So I'll play... I guess I'll just play knight to f4. Okay, we're met with knight to c6. I'll play my knight back. Okay, he does the same. And with that, drops the bishop on g4. All right, we'll pick up the bishop. Rook to h7. If I drop my knight back, bishop g5 could be an issue, so I'll bring my king to b1 first. Okay, knight to f6 offers a trade. No thanks. g6, and I'm just scanning for free pieces all the time, basically. Okay, I'll move my knight back to f2. Nice, another free piece. That's all mine. Knight to d4, and I'll retreat. Knight to c6, I'll go back to the center. Pretty straightforward so far. Okay, he's repeating moves now. I'll make a waiting move with my king. Okay, we're in check. Obviously, I'm going to hit the knight. And I'm going to pick it up. Nice, this is pretty good so far. All right, I think I just need to keep waiting around, and I think I'll be fine. Knight to f4. Okay, c5. I'm going to put my knight on this outpost, but which knight? I think this knight makes more sense, because if this knight moves into that spot, this knight doesn't have a lot of places to go after, whereas this knight can find some other spots. Maybe if g5, knight to f5 is possible, knight to g4 is always possible. So this knight goes on d5. Okay, rook to b7. Might as well go ahead and chase down this pawn. I'll play knight to g4. f5. Oh, if I take the pawn now, my knight is kind of trapped over there. Okay, so I'll play back. I'll play back to e3. Queen d7, I'm assuming there's a check in mind here. So I'll play my knight back to c3, anticipating that check. Okay, it was a different check, pawn to a4, which is equally annoying. I'll play king to a3 to block that pawn from advancing. And actually, we've talked about this in every single challenge thus far, that if he just pushes his pawns, even if they're at random, eventually one of them will break through, because there's no way for me to hold on to all of those pawns. So I'll play knight to g2 for right now, and at least hold off these two. Queen to e6. He's actually activating his queen extremely well. I'll make a waiting move with my king back to b2. Okay, d5. I was kind of hoping we'd get check and free queen, but okay. Can't have everything. We get pawn to d5. Play knight to f4 and see if I can pick up this queen. Oh, he's playing so well. Queen to f6. Okay, I'll take the pawn and hit the queen. Oh, okay, that's kind of a shame. He sacks the queen, which is definitely not the best move, but it doesn't give me really a lot of hope for this game anymore, now that I only have 1 knight. I'll play it out because there is a small chance of a miracle, but I'll play it out kind of quickly because I am not particularly optimistic. Okay, well, I guess we'll pick up a free bishop. The knight has to barely escape through g5. Knight to f3 is a fork, which is always good. I can't even take this because that's just a draw. Okay, I'll just move my king back. Move my knight back. Just hanging out, waiting to get... Oh, there's check. We'll move my king to a2. We'll play knight c4. Okay, so far no free rooks, which is quite impressive, although there's been a lot of other free pieces. Okay, check again, king to c4, check again, holy moly, okay. Keep walking towards the king. I mean, I might as well. Okay, I'm totally cut off here. Knight d5. Still no free rooks. Okay, but my king can go through now. Wouldn't this be amazing if I could win this somehow? I don't think there's literally any formation here where I can give checkmate. Actually, there's one, which is his king on h6, my king on either g8 or h8, and then my knight on f7, right? Because it gives check, covers the escape square, my king covers these two. Okay, so we've got a lot of maneuvering to do with the knight. We need to get it to f7, which takes at least 3 moves, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, that'll do it. So we'll play knight to c6. Problem is, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to force him into h6. So I'll kind of hope that he does it on his own, but it seems pretty unlikely. How about this? Give me a rook. Oh, nice. I'll take a free rook. Okay, so far so good. Knight back to e5, runs into f2, which is kind of a problem, even if I do get the free rook. And now there's really no way to checkmate him. So that's kind of a shame. I'll just chase some pawns. Okay, and this is what I was talking about. Any of these pawns moves too far forward, they get away. There's nothing I can do to stop them. All right, might as well try to bother him. Oh, I just gave away a knight. What am I doing? Anyways, that wraps up game number 1. All right, on to 3 knights. All right, we're back with 3 knights. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I just need to move my knights towards the center and basically await my free pieces. So centralize my knights. I mean, I'll even bring my king into the center. Everybody can be part of the attack. And there's our first bishop move. We'll play knight back to b1. Free piece that I can target, which, okay, he doesn't allow me to capture, but I'll keep bothering that bishop. Nice, we do get it on the second attack. We'll pick it up. Okay, he's starting to push his pawns extremely aggressively, which is concerning. So I'll bring my knights back. Queen to a5. I'm going to anticipate this check, but I don't think I can actually cover a2. I can play knight to c1, but I'll keep my knights towards the center for now. It just seems more sound. Go ahead and play knight to c4, target that queen. Okay, kind of a tough decision. I could take the queen, but then I'm almost guaranteed to lose the knight. But I still think my odds there are better than if I didn't take it all. So I'll take the queen. Oh, he doesn't even take back. Okay, h4. I'll get my knight out of danger. Rook to h6. Start penetrating the position with check. Can I take again and you won't recapture? Probably not. I'll play my knight back to e4. I don't want to push my luck either. Take that free pawn. I'll try to work off of just free pieces now. So knight to e5. Looking for this check, picking up the rook. Gimme, gimme. Knight to c5 offers a knight trade, which I am in no mood for. But I really like my knight on e5, so I'll probably deliver check first, king back, and then knight to e5. So check. Now knight to e5, centralizing my knights. f4. I'll go ahead and retreat this knight first, targeting the h4 pawn, and then creating an escape square for my knight on f7. So knight to f3. Very nice. Actually, I could just take this free pawn first. The issue is after d6, check, I lose the knight. So I'll drop back the knight first. King to e8. Now I'm free to take that pawn. b5. I mean, I might as well target another pawn. What's the worst that could happen? I win it for free? Yeah, exactly. So I'll take this pawn. Knight to d6. Generally speaking, my knights are going to do better in the center, so I'll go ahead and centralize my knight. The difficult part is going to be getting rid of other knights. Unless he gives them away to me for free, I can't really target them without risking a trade, which is pretty big for me. I can't, especially with knights. With bishops, I can do just 2 bishops fine. With 2 knights, it's a little bit trickier because it is a theoretical draw. So knight to e4. I'll go ahead and move my king towards the center. Nice, we get our first free knight. If I take on e4, I walk into a knight trade, which isn't that horrible, but I'd rather take the free knight altogether. Okay, knight to c5 retreats the knight. I'll keep bothering it. Nice, I take it for free. Oh, I walk into a fork. Never mind. I'll take the c6 pawn. And that's definitely free. Give me the bishop. I was going to say rook check would have gotten that free knight back, but he plays rook to e8 instead because Martin. So I'll retreat my knight. I'll pick up free pawns. And now I think I can just go on a little bit of a trek of just grabbing free pawns until eventually I'm significantly better. The only concern here would be like, I don't know, king g6, rook h8. looking to sack the rook for 2 knights, but I'm not totally confident that Martin has that deep of an understanding. Yeah, I mean, it's not even close. Okay, we'll pick up the free rook. I'll come grab these pawns. You're not supposed to make this difficult, Martin. You're supposed to give me all your free pieces. Okay, that's better. That's more like it. Free pawns, and now I just need to set up checkmate, which I have 3 knights to work with. I don't think I've ever had 3 knights to work with to set up checkmate, ever. So this is pretty unique. I don't remember exactly what the strategy is here, but I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to cut off as many squares as possible, and eventually checkmate will, I don't know, appear somewhere? I don't quite remember how this works. Okay, maybe I should think this through a little bit. Got a king on f7. It might be easier to move my knights back and just kind of bully him with my king. Okay, this looks promising. I'll move my knights to where they can easily give checks, and let's see. Okay, so far so good. I think I should stop him from moving to e8. So I'll play knight to d6. Okay. Now if I play knight to e6, I stop him from moving to f8, but he can escape to h7. So, and then knight to g6 is just stalemate, so I have to be careful here. Okay, what about knight to g4? The king could move over, but if he moves back, which is my main concern, because I'm not going to be able to checkmate him in the center, I don't think. I can give check, king g8, and then I still, okay, then I have to play king g6 to stop him from moving to h7, and then I've got him on 2 squares, which is pretty much all I need. So, knight g4, okay, he did it to himself. I'll play king to g6, and then knight to e6. Okay, cool. Now he's completely down to these 2 squares, and all I have to do is give check and mate. So, oh, I need a tempo, I just realized. Okay, hold on. Because the issue is if his king was still on g8, I could play check, here, mate. Fine. But his king is on h8, so obviously this is stalemate. King to h6, king here, check here. Ah, that's still mate. Okay, we're good. King to h6. If I play check, the knight covers f7. This knight covers the other 2 squares. Totally cool. f6 and mate. All right, it only took us 3 knights to defeat Martin. Obviously, the last thing in this series would be pawns, which I have done before with Martin, but I think it would just make sense to finish off the series. Some of you guys have also suggested bishop and knight combinations, so if you guys are interested in seeing piece combinations, let me know down in the comments below. All right, I will see you guys in the next one.